Number 1. Rigid steering columns. Let's start with one of the most terrifying designs in automotive history. For decades, the steering wheel was connected to a solid, one-piece steel shaft aimed directly at the driver's chest. In a frontal collision, the engine would push backward, turning that steering column into a literal spear that would impale the driver. It didn't matter if the crash was survivable. The spear effect was often fatal. Modern safety laws now mandate collapsible steering columns that fold or shatter under pressure, absorbing energy rather than transferring it into your body. Because of these regulations, the solid steel death shaft is completely banned on new vehicles. It's a perfect example of how a hidden mechanical part had to be redesigned from the ground up to save thousands of lives every year. Number 2. Rear crush zone fuel tanks. This is a design that sounds like a nightmare in retrospect. Many classic cars place the fuel tank at the very rear of the vehicle, often nestled between the rear bumper and the axle, to maximize trunk space. The problem was that the rear of a car is a primary crush zone during an accident. In a rear-end collision, these thin-walled tanks would rupture, spraying gasoline everywhere and turning a minor fender bender into a horrific fireball. The most famous example was the Ford Pinto, but it was a widespread industry practice. Modern regulations now require fuel tanks to be positioned in protected areas, usually ahead of the rear axle, and shielded by the car's structural frame. Placing a fuel tank in a vulnerable crush zone is now a criminal design choice. Number 3. Single-line brakes. Imagine driving down a steep hill and having your brakes disappear completely because of one tiny leak. That was the reality for anyone driving a car before the late 1960s. These vehicles used a single hydraulic circuit to control all 4 brakes. If a single rubber hose cracked or a seal failed, the entire system lost pressure instantly, leaving the driver with no way to stop. It was a mechanical, single point of failure that caused countless avoidable disasters. Safety laws now require dual-circuit braking systems, where the front and rear brakes operate on independent loops. If one line fails, you still have enough stopping power to safely pull over. The old dangerous single-line setup is now strictly illegal, replaced by redundant systems that ensure you're never left helpless. Number 4. Swing axles. Popularized by early rear-engine cars like the original Volkswagen Beetle and the Chevrolet Corvair, swing axles were a simple type of independent suspension. However, they had a deadly quirk called wheel tuck. During hard cornering or sudden maneuvers, the outside wheel could fold underneath the car, causing the vehicle to suddenly flip over. Drivers would find themselves rolling down the highway without warning because of a basic geometry flaw in the suspension. This unstable design led to high-profile lawsuits and a massive shift in engineering. Modern safety standards for vehicle stability and suspension geometry have made the classic unassisted swing axle a relic of the past. Today's suspension systems are designed to keep the tires flat on the ground, making those flipping axles a banned and forgotten danger. Number 5. Plain glass windshields. In the early days of motoring, windshields were made of the same glass used in house windows. When a car hit a bump or had a minor accident, the glass would shatter into large, razor-sharp shards. These shards acted like flying knives, causing gruesome injuries or decapitation to passengers who were thrown toward them. It was a terrifying hazard that turned minor accidents into medical emergencies. Safety laws eventually mandated the use of laminated safety glass, which uses a plastic interlayer to hold the pieces together even when shattered. This spiderweb breaking pattern keeps the glass in one piece and protects occupants from being sliced. Because of the extreme danger, using plain, non-safety glass for a car's windshield has been globally banned for decades. Number 6. Metal dashboards. Open up a car from the 1950s and you'll see a dashboard that looks like a work of art, made entirely of solid, painted steel and polished chrome. While beautiful, these dashboards were essentially anvils inside the cabin. In an accident, a passenger's head or chest would strike that unyielding metal surface with full force. There was no padding, no give, and certainly no airbags, just metal meeting bone. The result was almost always catastrophic internal injuries or skull fractures. Modern safety regulations now require dashboards to be made of energy-absorbing materials like padded foam and soft plastics, designed to deform on impact. The era of the artistic metal dashboard ended when we realized that interior surfaces should be designed to save lives, not just to look good. Number 7. Weak door latches. For a long time, car doors were held shut by simple latches that weren't much stronger than the ones found on a kitchen cabinet. During a crash or a rollover, the car's body would twist, causing the door to pop open instantly. This was a leading cause of death because passengers would be ejected from the vehicle and crushed or hit the pavement at high speeds. Being thrown from a car significantly reduces your chance of survival. Yet early doors offered almost no resistance. Modern safety laws now require anti-burst door latches that are engineered to stay locked even when the car's frame is being crushed or twisted. These heavy-duty mechanisms ensure the doors stay shut, keeping you inside the protective safety cell of the car, making the old, flimsy latches illegal.